And as I was journaling about this weekend, because even though, I mean, I've written quite a bit since I decided I was going to do this, I still find myself falling into like, okay, like I'll have like a few days where the writing comes easy and I'm on cloud nine and it feels like it's flowing. And then a couple of days where I'm like, oh, why is this so hard? And so I was journaling this weekend to kind of help myself over the hump. And as I did that, I realized like I am totally creating this with my own thoughts. And so I just did some journaling. I call it a thought download. Um, so I just did some journaling about how could this be easy? How could this be so enjoyable? How could this like radically change my own life? How could I prove to myself that I can do something like this that requires a lot of focus and is challenging, but also is something that I so love and so enjoy and almost crave to do? And as I was doing that, I got so energized and so excited about working on the project again and writing again. And so those two practices, like deciding or asking yourself, what are the predominant emotions that I'm feeling right now, especially toward a goal that you have? And what are the limiting beliefs that I have about that? And I promise you that as you begin to do this, what will happen is that if you commit to doing this on a daily basis, or at least, multiple times a week, what you will notice is those limiting beliefs will start to let go of you. You don't even have to like by brute strength, like, oh, I'm going to change that thought. And, I'm going to force myself to feel a new emotion. What will happen is that you'll realize you'll have this awareness of like, oh my gosh, I'm making this so much harder for myself than it has to be. And as I've done that, I would say over the last, 6 weeks since I have committed to doing more writing, um, it's less and less and less. Those limiting beliefs are falling away. The negative emotion and the heaviness that I was feeling toward the writing are falling away. And what I notice is that when I am writing, that writing is fueled by these really powerful thoughts. Like one of the things that really helps me is my women need this. They need for me to get this out because this is going to change their life and help them so much. And that really fuels me and gets me going. And the other thought that I think about is like, I imagine one of my daughters picking up this book on emotional resilience and building emotional wealth and how that could just so encourage her and help her in her life, her marriage, her work with her kids. And it has really fueled some amazing writing sessions that have felt easy. I got up the other day and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I think I have another 2,000 words. This is crazy." And that has come from doing it doesn't take very long either. I was kind of timing myself because I'm like, I think we're resistant to doing this because we're like, I don't have time to do this. If I'm going to write, I don't have time to get myself in the right mood for writing, or, I don't have time to do this download. And literally the whole thing, I actually did probably 3 or 4 of them on different topics. The whole thing took me less than 20 minutes. So I would say the part that I did just on book writing or just on writing, I mean, it was less than 5 minutes. So I promise you, you have time to do it, and you actually don't have time not to do it, because this emotional state that you're in, a lot of times we're convinced like, oh, this emotional state that I'm in right now is just who I am. No, it's just a habit that you keep practicing over and over, and you can rewrite that. You have a story that you're always going to be overweight. You have a story that you're always going to struggle with money. You have a story that, you know, you're never going to be able to build your business. And I promise you that rewriting that story is possible, but you have to put in the reps. It's like going to the gym. I joined a CrossFit gym 6 or 7 years ago, and I didn't, you know, I didn't in the first month or even the first 6 months become fit and strong. I just was willing to put in the reps day after day after week after month. And then you wake up one day and go, wow, I am really strong. This is totally working. But you have to be willing to decide what you want to create first and start practicing that belief. So whatever it is for you in the coming year, I promise you, you can rewrite your story. You can have a different life 90 days from now, and it's not that hard. I mean, doing those downloads, asking yourself what is the main emotion that you're feeling most of the time and why, and then writing down those thoughts and then deciding like, okay, how do I want to think about this? What do I want to feel about this? How could this be different? How could it be possible that I could have a different story about myself? It doesn't take that long, but the compound effect of you doing that day after month is profound. I've just watched it happen in my own life, and I've watched it happen in my clients' lives, and it is insane to me how close we are to making true change. Really change your story, change your life. I do 100% believe that.